Communist leader Eric Honecker and 3 of his top aides. The probe into other crimes, we're told, will continue. That's a brief look at the news for now. Sam Champion standing by with one more look at the weather. Sam?
Mike, the one thing everyone will notice is the new introduction of cold air this week, so watch it. Broccoli lovers, I think that number was 2111. Joan, Charlie?
All right, we'll give you those numbers once again. If you want to vote that you like broccoli, the number is 1-900-220-2111. If you can't stand it, 1-900-220-2144. I've already voted.
And we'll see you tomorrow.
Lots of Oscar stuff. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.
Sometimes it's tough being a 16-year-old doctor. Dr. Hauser, your patient's waiting in 508. Thank you. I mean, when most kids my age are having fun and flirting with the opposite sex, I'm on call treating the infirm.
From the executive producer of L.A. Law.
Meryl. Yes? Please remove your clothes and put this on.
Which is the front and which is the back?
So who's complaining?
Doogie Howser, M.D., Wednesdays.
Each year, over 1 million women are abused and beaten by their husbands or boyfriends in their own homes.
Your stuff is everywhere. Get rid of it. You don't deserve a family. You're nothing. You don't need these. You're not going anywhere.
But now, more women realize that domestic violence is a crime you don't have to live with.
For confidential help, call 1-800-642-9537.
The Bureau of the Census needs part-time and temporary help. Earn extra money while helping our community. Call 422-1263.
It was a deadly case of revenge. Good morning, I'm Victor Locke. A Cuban exile held in the fire deaths of 87 persons at an illegal New York club early Sunday morning is said to be remorseful, nonetheless facing murder and arson charges. Closer to home, a suspicious fire at a Southside Fort Wayne business last night left a firefighter sore after he fell through a roof trying to douse the blaze. Area police are still seeking your help in finding 17-year-old Tanya Wiseman, last seen Friday at Southtown Mall. And in the weather, plenty of sunshine for the first part of the week. It's all at noon from 21 Alive.
The men who think women should be barefoot and pregnant. Next, Sally.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, if I look very proud, it's because I am. All we intend to do for you on this program is present the original cast members of what was to become the longest running musical in the history of Broadway. On July 25th, 1975, the people that you will meet and whose talents you will enjoy on this program walked out on the stage at the Schubert Theater here in New York City, and it was to change the look of American musical theater, and more important to them, it was to change their lives forever. All a chorus line has done is win 9 Tony Awards, 5 Drama Desk Awards, the Pulitzer Prize, an Obie, a Drama Critics Award, a London Evening Standard Award. It has won a special Tony in 1984 when it became, in 1984, it became the longest running show on Broadway. Why are we here today? Because the producers have announced that a chorus line will shortly close. If you missed this magnificent musical work, you missed something at the center of American popular culture during the past 15 years. Our soloist is Priscilla Lopez, and I say again, the people that you're about to meet are the members of the original cast from A Chorus Line. And I am pleased to give you the cue that moves them to sing a song that will forever move about the heads of the millions of people who have enjoyed this work. And the line is as follows. If today were the day you had to stop dancing, how would you feel?
Kiss today goodbye, the sweetness and the sorrow. Wish me luck the same to you, but I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. I did for love. Love is never gone as we travel on. Love's what we'll remember. Kiss today goodbye and point me toward tomorrow. We did what we had to do. Won't forget, can't regret what I did for love. What I did for love. What I did for
Singular sensation, every little step he takes. One thrilling out.
Look, I know there's no fountain of youth, but part of me hopes for a little miracle.
Dove contains 1/4 moisturizing cream. It won't dry your face like soap.
With Dove, my face does feel younger. I think this could be one of those little miracles.
Yeah, I could be over in 5 minutes.
Not till you do the dishes.
Sunlight has real lemon juice. With virtually no scraping or pre-rinsing, everything comes out Sunlight clean. Sunlight with real lemon juice. We make light work of dishes.
Is 20 minutes too long to wait for the slow-cooked taste of long-grain rice? It is now. This is Minute Premium long-grain rice, a different kind of rice from Minute. Slow-cooked taste, plump whole grains in 5 minutes. So why wait 20 minutes for the slow-simmered taste of long-grain rice when you can have it in 5? Minute Premium long-grain rice, slow-cooked taste in 5 fast minutes. And try our new fast-cooking brown rice, a natural source of rice bran.
This is me, Lynn Crome, before Nutrisystem. And this is me after Nutrisystem. I lost 50 pounds and I feel fantastic. I'm a person who's happy now, enjoys themselves, is proud of myself for losing weight. It makes me feel good to know that I can lose the weight and maintain the weight and live this way for the rest of my life. It's something I can live with. Nutrisystem worked for me.
All the weight you can lose in 60 days for $99. Food or startup fee not included.
Coffee. Is it really the best way to start the day?
It's too weak.
Too strong.
It's bitter.
It's just the nature of the
For
beast.
me, it's too acidic.
You don't even like coffee.
I don't. Just voicing my opinion.
Which you have every right to do.
Well, why do you drink it every morning?
Tradition.
Take a refreshing break in the morning with an ice-cold Pepsi. And get that refreshing Pepsi taste with every sip. More people are agreeing. Pepsi and Diet Pepsi have the taste that beats coffee cold.
Said I could do that. I could do that.
That is Wayne's number. Well, first let me say what you already know. You look marvelous, and I mean that in no patronizing way. You're all, you've taken very good care of yourself, and all of you are still working. Some of you in theater, some of you are not. And one person is in the show as we speak and has to leave us early for a matinee. Do you know who it is? The one person still in the show? I'm not going to tell you. Yes, I will. It's Robert Lupone. Zach, you're in the current company. Yes. And you've got to leave, actually? Yeah. Well, what was your hiatus? How long were you gone from?
13 years.
He's still good.
And, well, you've got to tell us, you know, what's it like going visit deja vu all over again, as Yogi might say?
No.
It's different.
Yes, totally. I mean, it's hard.
He's Mike. I think he's Mike.
It's
No,
hard
he's not
to.
Mike. All right, sorry.
It's hard to. I mean, obviously, I'm working with other actors, and we are doing the show every night, so it's hard to compare in the sense that they bring to the show what they know about the show. But I was telling the cast, our friends of mine in the cast here before, that clearly the history that we have and the experience that we had doing this show will never compare to me doing any other company.
Let us speak to that for just a moment, and you'll all get in here. Don't be shy. I feel like the conductor at the Mormon Tabernacle Choir. First of all, Chorus Line is not about young people trying to break into show business. Chorus Line is about people who are in show business. Chorus Line is about dancers who may or may not get this job. God, I need this job. Are you too fat? Are you too thin? Are you too old? Are your breasts too big or too small? What about your hairline? And you sat with Michael Bennett in rooms to talk about your own personal... You're nodding with affirmation here. You were right here. And he brought... some of your stories were brought in toto to this... to the play and others portions thereof. Talk about that. Didn't you... You had your own therapy to bring this... to get this play, this musical on its feet. Who wants to start?
I think Wayne should start because he was there.
All right, Wayne.
He took my story. He didn't believe that I had a kid and a wife and a house, so he gave it to him, and I took Sammy's story. I didn't want it, but I got it.
But please review, as you do in this book, which I am pleased to recommend to our viewers. On the line is the story of the creation of a chorus line, which I am told as we speak, having played now in 24 countries, every day of the calendar year, the curtain goes up in some country of the world on a chorus line. I believe now we're talking of proceeds in excess of $250 million. Where were you when this... Really? You didn't get it? And I want you to know something else, and I better shut up here because we got a big cast. You were paid $1 for your own stories.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
That will haunt us for the rest of the life.
Take that mic, Nancy. That's right.
We did sign away our lives for $1. All the rights, all the logo things, everything that you see our picture on, we get.
Yeah. Here's the, incidentally, here's Bloomingdale's.
Towels.
You don't, your likeness is literally on here.
That's right.
That's right.
May I add something?
Yes.
We were also on bath towels, and many, many years ago when the show was a hit, do you kids remember this? Kids, we can call each other kids. And we couldn't get a charge card at Bloomingdale's, but they wanted us to go. Oh, is it all right to say Bloomingdale's? Is Betsy going to be upset?
Sure, why not? This is America.
And, they wouldn't give us charge cards, but they wanted us to go and, of course, help them sell the product. And I think we all took a stand and we got our charge cards, which I hope none of us ever used. But anyway.
Yeah, but let's not presume that everybody understands how this magnificent creative idea was born. You sat and poured your soul out about your own life, what your mother said, what your father said. Some of you talked about adolescent experiences. Will she kiss you? Won't she kiss you?
About 8 of us that are here met on a snowy Sunday or Saturday night over on the east side, and we call this the tape sessions. And the tape sessions were done like a group therapy, and there were about 25 dancers there that were working or not working, and that's how this kind of evolved. And everyone told a little bit about their childhood, a little bit about getting to New York, a little bit about their first job, pretty much the way the show runs.
And pain.
Yeah, it was tough.
Somebody's mother said, gee, when you grow up, maybe you'll be pretty or something. There were...
Right.
That was you? Tell me.
That was my mother. Yeah.
Live, Nancy.
No, it's in the book, but what had happened, and this used to be a monologue of mine. It has gone into At the Ballet. It's part of the lyric of At the Ballet, and Nancy has the pleasure of singing that. But we talked about the whole idea of going into the business and what you needed in the business. And I was saying to all of them that night, I said, remember that Doris Day song, Que Sera, Sera, and will I be pretty, will I be rich? And so I went to my mom like this, and I said, will I be pretty when I grow up? And she said, no. And she said, you'll be very attractive, and you'll be very different, and you'll have a wonderful flair about you, but you won't be pretty.
No.
And I was very disappointed. I have to say the lyricist said I hated her. I didn't hate her, but I was unhappy.
Right. But as a matter of fact, you did share this, did you not? This was going on inside a creative room where people were tape recording you for purpose of how to... So you had to have... You had a mass group therapy here in which not a few people cried, lots of people got angry. Who wants in?
Well, I just want to say something that, you know, the thing that was marvelous about
Let me just say that Kelly, we should say, as Sheila won the Tony for Best Supporting Actress. Donna, you won Tony for your part. I want to get this in. Excuse the interruption.
Well, you know, the thing that I found for me was the experience of going to this, and Michael asked 3 questions to begin us off. 3 questions that I think are still in the show. And it started kind of superficially as people started talking and more people revealed more. People that you thought you knew you dressed next to in other shows, you realized that we all had dreams and private dreams and some shameful secrets, we thought. It broke down a certain kind of barrier, and that feeling tone of that got in the play. There was something there. By the end of the first evening, the emotions flowed because people were felt safe. All of a sudden, those barriers dropped and people were eager to reveal. When we came upon, I'm jumping way ahead, but the composite of characters, like my character is a composite of many people. My real life is on that whole stage all night in 6 characters, as many of us are. Right. We found out that so much of our common experience, we couldn't all say we had the same experiences, so Michael made certain characters say specific things. So this was, you know...
this was not a play that you walked out, got the script, stood there and auditioned for. You brought your soul, all your baggage.
Some people auditioned with their own stories, though, didn't they?
Like I walked in. Please do.
I had... my sister's here, and she was one of the ones that auditioned at that same time, and I did her monologue. So the barriers in those tape sessions that she's talking about, I never released that barrier because my sister was right beside me, you know, answering the questions prior to me answering them. And she's like, if I may say so, 3 years older. And I, you know...
You may say so.
I always looked up to her, you know, so there were certain things that I didn't reveal at that time in that tape session. So I was kind of the dark horse.
And...
But the strange... But the strange thing about it was that people walked into that room and auditioned for their life and didn't get it. They walked out of that room not getting the part.
Yeah, because it wasn't
reading their own material.
It was never about how well you danced or how well you looked. It was what your being was about. It was what your personality was about. It was what your presence was about, what you could bring to the stage. The other thing, I came in on the project a little bit later than some of the people. I replaced someone on the project. And when I arrived, Sammy had already told my story. I, too, followed my sister into dancing school and sat there. And when she left, I picked up her dancing shoes, and Wayne wound up doing our number. But, you know, and it is a common denominator here. We all have very similar stories and come from very different dysfunctional backgrounds where we were shamed, et cetera, et cetera.
And Phil, that's the reason why we wrote this book called On the Line.
This is a very compelling book. I'm pleased to... I think that anybody interested in the creative process will be totally absorbed by this.
There are not a lot of people out there that know that it's based on the lives of real people. They go and see the show and they think they're just characters up there.
Right, here you are.
And here we are.
Is this the first time you've all been together since you...
In about yes.
We're missing one person.
We're missing one.
I should say that. We
Renee
are missing.
Bauman.
Renee, we miss you.
Her father is very ill, and we miss you, Renee.
Renee Bauman is not with us, and that's the only person that we were not able to, and it was for a very good personal family reason that she couldn't be here, and I know I'm sure she'll be watching. Now, just take a minute, my beloved guests. The word manipulative comes up a lot in this book and in conversation. Now, I'm only going to take a second. Who wants to start this? Michael Bennett reached into your heart. He reached into your soul.
Yes, he did, but we all wanted to be reached into.
You think so?
And yes, and I think that well, maybe not. Bob is smiling here. But I think we were all aware of it. I mean, it was something that was happening. At the same time, the experience for me, the creative experience, the work experience was something that I wanted to be part of, that in spite of the manipulation, it was okay. And I knew that had to be part of it in order to be part of the rest of it.
Yeah, that's a very nice, you're saying something very nice about a man who has died. Michael Bennett died of AIDS. I'm afraid to say how long ago. 3? 2.5
years ago.
Yeah. But how could he not? He must have enraged you. He must have hurt you. You must have been alternately mad at him and others.
May I interject something?
Yeah,
go ahead.
The best way I can describe it, and in retrospect, I understand why he did a lot of what he did, and it was very, very painful at the time. We were all very young, and we all had our own insecurities. But when I saw the show recently, and I don't want to denigrate that company, I felt that I was going to really be sad when I saw it, and I wasn't. And I think what the difference was between what we did and what they did was that I felt like literally every night we were auditioning for our jobs, and it was a necessary element in the show to make it as successful as it was. Yes, it was painful, but I always felt, did you not, that there was always the element that, gee, if you didn't do what you wanted or Mr. Bennett wanted you to do, there was always a possibility that you would be in the wings and somebody else would be there.
And that reflected in your performance.
Oh, yes.
You had to have fear and insecurity for this to work.
I mean, I don't want to be a Betty Bitters, but I can remember something horrible that Michael said to Sammy Williams, and I'll never forget this as long as I live. He came up to Sammy backstage before opening night. Was it San Francisco or Los Angeles? Now, you tell him what he said.
It was opening night in Los Angeles, and I played the role of Paul, which was...
For which you won a Tony. Let me get that in.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Towards the end of the monologue, I'm supposed to cry, and Michael came up to me just before we walked on stage, and he says, "I want real tears tonight." And I said to him, "Michael, how do I do that?" And he said to me, "Just think about how much I hate you." And turned around and walked away, and I was totally devastated. But he pushed the right button. By the time I got to my monologue, I was just a basket case. I was a mess. I was a mess.
Phil, I mean, the bottom line is a director has to direct his cast. He has to manipulate, and you have to use you have to pull out all the stops to do it. It was
it's
personal.
like a psychiatrist playing with your brains. I mean,
But you know something also, Phil? It was his way of directing us. At the time, we took it personally because we didn't know that. We weren't really aware that that's what he was. Yeah, we were babies.
25?
We didn't really know that that's what he was doing. It was
He did
for the
not direct
purpose of the show.
everybody in the same fashion. If some people required that because, you know, right or wrong, it worked. I mean, if he had done that with me, there would have been no performance.
He would have crushed you, and you'd have...
I wouldn't have been able to, yes.
So
I would
he
have been too inhibited.
he knew how far...
Right.
But that was a certain magic that he had, is that he treated us all very individually, and that's what this chemistry is about. We're very special. He knew that and treated us as such. I mean, he was very daddy with me and very mean with other people.
He pretty much left me alone. I never had any trouble with Michael. I got to watch it a lot. I don't know what reason that was. We could pick a few.
Yeah.
But we could say the color. That would be the easiest way out. But I never had a problem with him.
He just let you do your...
Well, I think he didn't know what to do with me because everything that he gave me was at the last minute.
Well, but
I shared with Sammy, and I had to go through the blues with what he did to him, and I watched what he did with everybody.
But your story, part of your fascinating personal story is not a whole lot of producers knew what to do with you. You were
not at that time.
Well, you were short and black.
And I came along at a time that they were just starting to hire dancers my color. You know, before you had to be like graham cracker colored.
Yeah.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
They were not. Everybody everybody knows that they were not hiring dark dancers. If you were dark in the Bayard, baby, you didn't work on
Oriental, or Oriental, or short Orientals were not being hired either.
Thank God it's different.
Now, just one more thing. We got. Sorry, you wanted this. Please, I stepped on your line. What is it?
Now I say, how about short Italians? I think with a big nose.
Right. Now look, we got. Yeah.
All I want to say is that one of the interesting things, I came in also late, you know, and one of the interesting things was my mother called me. She says, "How's the show going?" And I said, "Well, we sing for an hour, we dance for an hour, and we cry for an hour." I mean, it was like an Italian opera,
right.
you know.
And also, it was the first time that I can remember, I'd done a lot of shows where dancers were treated as individuals. We weren't just numbers. We didn't just go to marks. We were able to go in. We were able to say exactly what we needed to say at that time, and we created something as a group. We weren't just herded around for a change. You know, we were really able to bring ourselves to a project. That doesn't happen to dancers as a rule.
Please let me remind our viewers that, yes, we will hear other numbers from this magnificent, one-of-a-kind show, including Tits and Ass. Some of our viewers may question the propriety of this kind of material in the daytime. Here's what I'm arguing for. I would like to give every station an opportunity. If they want to bleep it, the bad words, they can bleep it. I do hope they won't be upset if I call their attention to the people on the other channel rolling semi-naked around a bed on a soap opera. And if we can't, and you know, Tits and Ass is a very important political statement made in this program, in this show. It's part of musical history. Who wants to help me out here?
May I interject
By all means, you may.
Thank you. I've waited 15 years for the opportunity to say this, and I so appreciate it being Mr. Donahue who gave me this opportunity. These are mine. If I had paid money for these, quite frankly, I think I deserve at least a partial refund. Thank you. But anyway, not to say that I don't think they happen to be swell, but nevertheless, they're real.
But you also deliver, too. You deliver them. You know what I mean in a theatrical sense. Robert, you got to leave. Listen, you got to eat. You know, we hate to see it. Can't, you know, how do you... We all ought to go with them. Go over to the theater and watch this. You want to do that? Oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'll look like a fool.
I'm going to be the director and you're auditioning for me, okay?
Yeah. Now don't, is this...
A little slower, okay? No offense. Again. Step, kick, kick, leap, kick, touch. 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 Right.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Tom Raper, Richmond, Indiana, announces a spectacular RV show every day in the largest, finest RV showroom in the Midwest. Why look at brochures? Why wait for a once-a-year show when you can shop at your leisure out of the weather? The best brand names at low, low prices. It's absolutely worth the drive to Tom Raper's 60-acre complex and gigantic indoor showroom. I-70 exit 149A, Richmond, Indiana. Mobile homes, sectional homes, truck caps, $99, closed Sunday. Call toll-free 1-800-RAPER-RV.
I'm Marty Wright.
And I'm Keith Edwards. At 21 Alive, we think it's time to stop talking about community concerns and start taking action.
That's why we've developed Inside Out, the area's first monthly primetime program offering help, guidance, and information on problems in our community.
On the first edition of Inside Out, we'll openly discuss the problem of child abuse and neglect. Then we'll put you directly in touch with people who can help.
Why just look at a problem when you can go inside to find answers?
Join us for the premiere of Inside Out Thursday night at 8 on 21 Alive.
every person ought to treat this the same way they treat the right to vote.
Stand up and be a part of the complete count in the 1990 census. Watch for your census form in the mail, fill it in, and send it back by April 1st. If you need help, visit the following centers on March 28th, 29th, and 30th. When you participate in Census 1990, you help planners determine the government dollars the Fort Wayne area gets, as well as the location of hospitals, schools, and daycare centers. So answer the census. It counts for more than you think.
It was a deadly case of revenge. Good morning, I'm Victor Locke. A Cuban exile held in the fire deaths of 87 persons at an illegal New York club early Sunday morning is said to be remorseful, nonetheless facing murder and arson charges. Closer to home, a suspicious fire at a Southside Fort Wayne business last night left a firefighter sore after he fell through a roof trying to douse the blaze. Area police are still seeking your help in finding 17-year-old Tanya Wiseman, last seen Friday at Southtown Mall. And in the weather, plenty of sunshine for the first part of the week. It's all at noon from 21 Alive.
To be part of the audience, write Donahue Tickets, care of NBC, New York, New York, 10112.
Well, here we go. I don't, you know, we're having big agonies now about rap music and what's profane and what isn't. And, you know, what would you like your kids to listen to? I don't know. As the father of a daughter, I'm very pleased to have my daughter exposed to the material we're about to see. It speaks volumes about our culture and about the lament of a talented young woman who wants to be thought of as more than just a body and begins to wonder whether or not anything else matters. I am pleased to present the talented performer who gave this to the world on the first show, July 25th, 1975 at the Schubert Theater. Here she is from the original cast of A Chorus Line, Pam Blair.
But after a while, I caught on. I mean, I had eyes. I saw what they were hiring. I also swiped my dance card once after an audition. And on a scale of 10, they gave me, for dance, 10. For looks, 3. Well, dance 10, looks 3. And I'm still on unemployment, dancing for my own enjoyment. That ain't it, kid. That ain't it, kid. Dance 10, looks 3 is like to die. Left the theater and called the doctor for my appointment to buy tits and ass. Bought myself a fancy pair, tightened up the derriere, did the nose with it, all that goes with it, tits and ass. Had the bingo bongo done, suddenly I'm getting national tours. Tits and ass won't get you jobs unless they're yours. Didn't cost a fortune either, didn't hurt my sex life either. Flat and sassy, I would get the strays and losers. Beggars really can't be choosers. That ain't it, kid. That ain't it, kid. Fix the chassis. How do you do? Life turned into an endless medley of gee, it had to be you. Why? Tits and ass. Where the cupboard once was bare, now you're knocking, someone's there. You have got 'em, hey, touch the bottom, yay! It's a gas. Just a dash of silicone. Shake your new maracas and you'll find tits and ass can change your life. They sure change mine. Have it all done, honey, take my word. Grab a cab, come on, see the wizard on Park and 73rd. For tits and ass, orchestra and balcony. What they want is what you see. Keep the best of you, do the rest of you. It's a class. I have never seen it fail. Debutante or chorus girl or wife. Tits and ass, yes, tits and ass have changed my life.
Perfect. Perfect, man. Perfect. Whoa!
Where's my hat? Who stole my hat? There it is. Let me just take, if it looks like I'm hawking this book, it's because I am. On the line is the subtitle, The Creation of a Chorus Line, More Than a Broadway Musical. The longest running Broadway musical in the history of the universe, by far. And yes, it is closing. You may not be surprised to learn that when they announced it was closing, business started booming, and they've extended the engagement for another month. We can only speculate on what might happen now that the all-powerful, influential Donahue show has given its little endorsement to... All right. This is the finish. Now, we're not finished, but I just want you to see this, and we'll let this audience in on this. You know the show, you know? Finally, we see these people in costume. Here's the dun 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 dun. If you please. And we'll be back with the chorus line in just a moment.
Now from Bologna, the culinary heart of Italy, where pasta sauces are rich with beef, comes the recipe for new Classico di Bologna with beef and vegetables. Classico di Bologna, one of the new Classico authentic regional pasta sauces.
The Made in the USA label means more than great fashion, quality, and fit. It makes you feel great. Look for it, buy it in apparel and home fashions.
Pasta in the shape of dinosaurs? You're not gonna fall for a ploy like this. Come on, they're tricking you into eating what's good for you. Hey, you're too smart for that.
Introducing new super shapes from Muller's, like dinosaurs, teddy bears, and monsters.
So, let's see I take them off your hands before you totally embarrass yourself. I think you have some very deep-rooted problems.
New super shapes from Muller's. Pasta fit for a kid.
Hey, are you still sitting there eating those Doritos? Listen up if you're looking for a truck. At Tompkinson's, we've got a great selection of trucks, two-wheel drives, four-wheel drives, Blazers, whatever you're looking for. How about this 83 S15 Sierra, $24.90, only $69 a month. Truck on over to the phone and call us on the hotline at 484-9531. They'll keep making Doritos, and we'll keep making hot deals on trucks at Tompkinson's.
Tompkinson Chrysler Plymouth on Coldwater Road across from Ellis Ayres Glenbrook.
If you haven't been watching the Joan Rivers show, just look at what you've been missing.
The woman, the actress, the mother, the director, the gossip, the author, the comedian, the animal lover. And now, Joan Rivers is doing what she does best.
But I told you I need a charge card for that. The Joan Rivers show, weekday mornings at 11, all on 21 Alive.
Hi, this is where little kids are always looking for things to play with. I want to show you what cigarette lighters or matches should look like to the little kids in your home. Like this. Or like this. You didn't see any lighters? That's the whole idea. Keep your lights out of kids' sight, out of kids' hands.
sensation. You should hear me in the shower. Let's show him, Michael. 1976. You don't, it's got to wait. Don't do it yet, dummy. We keep telling you not to do this to us, and there you are out there doing it. All right, I want to show you the, yes.
The lady fourth from the end, Miss Lee.
Yes.
How did a short lady like you ever get to be such a successful dancer? I understand you're all supposed to be tall and slim.
Right, well, I spent my whole life playing kids.
Yes.
And also, I met a wonderful man named Michael Bennett who gave me the opportunity to wear platform shoes and wear my hair down.
Right, and incidentally, you directed just almost everything outside of New York. Did you not put... the show has aired, listen to me, has played in 24 countries. And you've directed and put most of those on their feet, did you not?
Yes, all around the world.
I have two girls that...
You have what?
I have two girls that take dance lessons, 5 and 8, and like sometimes you see like the show Annie or whatever. How do you find out about these shows, and how do you like audition? I mean, how do you know where to go and try out for a show or whatever you say?
Backstage.
Well, there's two newspapers called Backstage and Show Business, also Variety, and they will tell you what's happening in town.
Yes.
Hi, I'm sorry Robert had to leave. I was here 2 weeks ago from Salt Lake and saw the one now, and I'm sorry I missed your first performance, but I'm back for here and seeing you. It's great.
I'm glad you made it here, yes.
Were any of you in the movie Chorus Line?
No.
Yeah. Here's the point. You know, I don't think there's a millionaire among you, is there? And you put a show on stage that has made $250 million around the world. Not to mention the ancillary material, the album alone. What's up here? Are you bitter? How come you're not all...
Can I say one thing?
By all means.
We did go at one point to a lawyer with that agreement which we'd signed, correct me if I'm wrong, for $1, and this particular lawyer said, gee, this agreement gives the term dumb dancer new meaning.
Well, wait, I just have to say something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Also, yes, we did sign our rights away for $1, but Michael Bennett, looking back on it, you know, probably felt a little guilty about it all and did start this fund where about 52 people split 0.5% of the gross income of this show. So it's not like all we ever got was $1, but we are not millionaires like a lot of people
And you
think
certainly,
that we've retired.
Right, and you only got it, shall we say, you participated minimally in the gross proceeds of this extraordinary success.
Pam had figured it out. She said at one point she thinks that most of those people that got it from the first 2 workshops made like $60,000 over 15 years. I only did the last workshop, and I got, she said, that's just an estimate I'm saying, she said, but I only did the last workshop. I got maybe $900 out of that sucker in that time.
Yeah. Yes, Donna, please,
But
Donna.
just quickly, along with all of this, too, there's another fact that the people who are still performing have gone on to perform. Other people have other successful careers in other fields.
By all means.
But you know,
right,
the thing is, the chorus line, maybe not. Maybe that's not the $1 million, okay?
Right.
But it opened, for many of us, all the doors, and there's a lot more money in other places, you know, for us, because of the show.
It set a precedent for all Broadway shows that go through this process of workshop. They automatically get 1%.
Right. Here's the tape I was trying to call up just a moment ago. We found it, and here it is. We won't be able to show all of this, friends. We're really tight here. 1976, the Tonys. Watch this.
The nominees for Best Director of a Musical are Michael Bennett for A Chorus Line, Bob Fosse for Chicago, Bill Guile for Very Good Eddie, and Harold Prince for Pacific Overtures. And the winner is Michael Bennett.
I really wanted this. And so many people did so much to help me get this. And not only Joe Papp and Marvin and Ed and Nick and Jimmy and Bobby and the 9 orchestrators and Bobby Thomas and the cast and my darling Donna McKechnie, but everybody that I've had the opportunity to work with in the theater. I mean, they've all taught me things, and I only wanted one thing, to be a Broadway director. And I am, and I wanted one moment, and I have it, and I thank you.
Yeah. Yes, yes, Donna and Michael were married for a year or so, and your love, I'm sure, followed him to the end. And my good woman, Miss Lee, I'm sorry to do this to you, sweet kid. What knocks you out, takes your wind out, huh?
He gave me the gift of a chorus line opening night. We opened, and down in the green room, he said, Bjork, it's all yours, and you will go around the world and direct and choreograph and represent us throughout the world. And I have been doing that for 15 years in his name.
And we'll be back in just a moment.
Lebemoff Law Offices, a hard-working law firm for hard-working people.
Our elected representatives have assembled here for about 200 years to write our laws. Our system of government gives every American a voice that has a right to be heard. It's the law. If you're a victim of an accident, we know the law, and we have the experience to represent you.
The Lebemoff Law Offices help people who've been injured in an accident. Call 423-2581.
This magic box? I love it. Couldn't live without it. But I want good food from it. Like New Perfection, the first pasta made just for the microwave. Oh, you're thinking sticky, mushy. It's real pasta, so it tastes great. Every bit as good as the regular kind. And terrific with my sauce. Look, take the box, cover up the shun, and you've got perfect. Get it? New Perfection microwave pasta. Great pasta can come from the microwave.
No one knows the importance of timing better than a comedian. And I can tell you this, right now is the best time for you to head for K&N Carpet. Everything in their store is sale priced. Carpeting, wood flooring, vinyl flooring, ceramic tile. Everything in stock is sale priced and ready to be installed by their experts. Don't mess up your timing. Now's the time to see the professionals at K&N Carpet.
When we say nobody does it better than 21 Alive, we have to prove it.
That's why we make sure the news you see on 21 Alive's 8 daily news programs is timely and thorough, not just a repeat of yesterday's news.
That's also why we have a staff of photographers and reporters available 24 hours a day. So when late-breaking news happens, you can be sure 21 Alive is on the scene to bring you the latest information.
No other news source in Fort Wayne makes a commitment to news like 21 Alive.
Nobody does it better than Keith Edwards and Marty Wright, weeknights at 6 and 11 on 21 Alive.
Well, we didn't tell you that we have the original accompanist with us, some musician too, Fran Freschetti, our pianist. And boy, they're crazy about you. And don't you feel like hand and glove here? And our drummer, our percussionist, we should say. This is a very expensive show. You call him a percussionist. Hank Jarmillo, thank you so much for your help here. Here we go. Here we go. Another magnificent work from this remarkable theatrical experience. Kelly Bishop is joined by Kay Cole and Nancy Lane at the ballet.
Daddy always thought that he married beneath him. That's what he said, that's what he said. When he proposed, he informed my mother he was probably her very last chance. And though she was 22, though she was 22, though she was 22, she married him. Life with my dad was wasn't ever a picnic, more like a come as you are. When I was 5, I remember my mother dug earrings out of the car. I knew that they weren't hers, but it wasn't something you'd want to discuss. He wasn't warm. Well, not to her. Well, not to us. But everything was beautiful at the ballet. Graceful men lift lovely girls in white. Yes, everything was beautiful at the ballet. Hey, I was happy at the ballet. That's when I started class. Up the steep and very narrow stairway to the voice like a metronome. Up the steep and very narrow stairway. It wasn't paradise. It wasn't paradise. It wasn't paradise, but it was home. Mother always said I'd be very attractive when I grew up, when I grew up. Different, she said, with a special something and a very, very personal flair. And though I was 8 or 9, though I was 8 or 9, though I was 8 or 9, I hated her. Now, different is nice, but it sure isn't pretty. Pretty is what it's about. I never met anyone who was different, who couldn't figure that out. So beautiful, I'd never live to see. But it was clear, if not to her, well, then to me, that everyone is beautiful at the ballet. Every prince has got to have his swan. Yes, everyone is beautiful at the ballet. I was pretty at the ballet. Up a steep and very narrow stairway to the voice like a metronome. Up a steep and very narrow stairway. It wasn't paradise. It wasn't paradise. It wasn't paradise, but it was home.
I don't know what they were for or against, really, except each other. I mean, I was born to save their marriage, but when my father came to pick my mother up at the hospital, he said, well, I thought this was going to help, but I guess it's not. Anyway, I did have a fantastic fantasy life. I used to dance around the living room with my arms up like this. My fantasy was that it was an Indian chief, and he'd say to me, Maggie, do you want to dance? And I'd say, Daddy, I would love to dance. Do-do-do, but it was clear, do-do-do, when he proposed, that I was born to help their marriage, and when that's what he said, that's what she said, I used to dance around the living room. It wasn't for not for her. It was an Indian chief, and he said, Maggie, do you want to dance? And I said, Daddy, I would love to. Everything was beautiful at the ballet. Raise your arms, someone's always there. Yes, everything was beautiful at the ballet. At the ballet.
Buster Cheetah here. My stomach's growling has got me prowling for Cheetos. Now what's Cindy Lou up to? Out of sight. The buzzsaw bite.
Cheetos brand. The cheese that goes crunch.
A wart makes it difficult to express yourself with your hands.
Clear Away Wart Remover removes warts faster than Compound W liquid. Our medicated disc dissolves the wart, while the cover-up disc conceals it. Clear Away from Dr. Scholl's conceals as it heals.
There's a song for you in Tennessee.
Good times and harmony. So won't you come and join us? Come on and play along. In Tennessee, we're playing your song.
Come to Tennessee, we're playing your song.
This is me, Jennifer Shaven, before Nutrisystem. And this is me now. I lost 80 pounds and I feel terrific. Oh, I love to look in the mirror now. Now I see skinny old me. And it's wonderful. I have confidence. I try new things. I take risks. And my social life is definitely picking up. I'm a new me, and I love it.
All the weight you can lose in 60 days for $99. Food or startup fee not included.
I'm Marty Wright.
And I'm Keith Edwards. At 21 Alive, we think it's time to stop talking about community concerns and start taking action.
That's why we've developed Inside Out, the area's first monthly primetime program offering help, guidance, and information on problems in our community.
On the first edition of Inside Out, we'll openly discuss the problem of child abuse and neglect. Then we'll put you directly in touch with people who can help.
Why just look at a problem when you can go inside to find answers?
Join us for the premiere of Inside Out Thursday night at 8 on 21 Alive.
Here in Indiana, some of the biggest decisions in life happen right here behind the bleachers or in some other familiar place. Most kids on drugs today started because a friend said, "Here, try it, it's cool." What's so cool about taking drugs and being kicked off the team or out of school, or getting sick, or maybe being confined to a hospital, or even worse, dying? Drugs aren't solutions, they're problems. Be smart. Don't start.
Transcript of today's show, send $3 to Donahue Transcripts, 267 Broadway, New York, 1007, or call 212-227-READ.
No, as the producers have announced it, it is about to close. We got through this whole program without, we've certainly made reference to Michael Bennett, whose creative genius lives in every moment of this magnificent musical experience. Marvin Hamlish, the composer who brought this wonderful sound and his own genius to the play. Joseph Papp was the producer, so let's not end our program without giving those credits. On the line is the very, very honest story of the making of this very unique creative undertaking. And the original cast will now close our program as we began. And the cue in the play, as I'm pleased to do it for you again, if today were the day you had to stop dancing, how would you feel?
Yesterday, goodbye.
Good morning, Fort Wayne. This is Phil Donahue inviting you to stay tuned for my good friend Sally Jesse Raphael next on 21 Alive.
But I can't regret what I did for love, what I did for love. Look, my eyes are dry. The gift was ours to borrow. Forget what I did for love, what I did for love.
Services provided and promotional fees paid by the following.
Playtex Living Gloves, the high-quality, long-lasting gloves with the tapered fit and soft, absorbent lining for all your household jobs. Aren't your hands worth Playtex?
What's missing from Billy's sandwich? Imperial. Only our buttery taste deserves the crown.
The Drake offers an exciting weekend in New York at a special price. The only Swiss hotel on Park Avenue. For reservations, call 800-DRAKE-NEW YORK or 212-4221-0900.
Tom Raper, Richmond, Indiana, has more RVs and mobile homes in one location than you've ever seen any